Welcome into game number 6. I realize I haven't changed the races, so I'm going to do that. You didn't see anything. There we go. Welcome into game number 6 between Team Kessel and Galaxy from Chobo Team League number 5. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner of GSL Entombed Valley, it is the purple Terran player playing for Team Kessel. It's Falconpaunch. And spawning across from him in the top right, playing for Team Galaxy. His team is up 3-2, so he can close out the series with the win. It is Ruffy. We've seen some really interesting games so far. I've been pretty pleased, especially since, I'm going to be honest with you, none of you from the teams, Evo versus Anarchy was awful. There was one good game of the 7 that I casted. It's just awful. Don't watch the VODs, whatever you do, unless you're really into really bad games. On the side, that cast was finished in a little bit over an hour. See a little bit of friendly banter between Falconpaunch and Ruffy. Really nice to see in this league. Of course, this league not necessarily competitive. It's more for fun. It's about improving. The goal to get everybody into Diamond League. But both of our players are now in Gold League. This is Gold set number 2. And Entombed Valley is an interesting map for TVT. It, at least in terms of mid and late game, revolves around control of the central watchtower. You can split the map in half, although more often, it just kind of revolves around 2-base versus 2-base play, and who sieges up their opponent's natural better. If you can get your siege tanks kind of in this general area over here, you can actually shut down a lot of stuff going on down here at the natural, and give yourself a lot of opportunities. We see Ruffy going to scout cross-map immediately, perhaps knowing the GSL version a little bit better. I think it favors cross-spawn over vertical spawn, although I wouldn't quote me on that. It might just be sort of an intuition thing. We see Falconpaunch going for a gasless 1-rack fast expand, the most normal thing in the world. Ruffy, meanwhile, not doing the normal thing in any way. He's going for a tech lab on his first barracks. This looks like it's going to be a Reaper expand, perhaps, from Ruffy. I love Reapers. Reapers and Ravens, of course, are my 2 favorite units. And anytime a player makes one of those, they immediately become my hero. If you can come up with a build that effectively uses Reapers and Ravens, I might love you forever. And I've used that in every game. You see, he's actually not too shy about, or he's not going to really hide this. Falconpaunch actually hiding down, just looking for the command center. He actually, he didn't see the tech lab. That's really valuable scouting information. So he doesn't know about the Reaper. Unfortunately, Reaper's not great on this map, just because the only place to jump up into your opponent's main is behind his natural. This will probably be able to delay his natural. If he gets up a couple of Reapers, he may be able to even gun down all of his opponent's Marines before he's able to do anything about it. There's only 3 Marines. There will be 2 Reapers soon. Maybe that's a possibility, but we see Reaper expand from Ruffy. Very old school build, still very viable. And what's he going to start? He's going to Stim Pack immediately after that. That's a really interesting choice from Ruffy. So he wants to get a little bit aggressive, is what this tells to me. I'll probably see him on the traditional, of course, is 3 barracks, but we may see him on 4, maybe 5. He could even go up to as many as 7 or 8. But we'll see how much damage these 2 Reapers can do, what kind of scouting information he's able to gain. He should be able to kill a couple of these SCVs down at the natural. But, again, not the best match for Reapers. Just because there's only really the one cliff face. You can't go through the destructible rocks, like that sort of thing. But away scoot the Reapers for Ruffy. Ruffy's Reapers, if you appreciate alliteration. And 3 Marines headed out to the center watchtower, so there'll be 4 back at home to defend, which is enough for Falconpaunch. And now Reaper's jumping up into the natural. He'll be able to start gunning down some things. Looks like he's going to get one SCV. Now he's going to get a second one. Now he moves up into the natural. And he'll delay the factory. That's really nice. He'll actually pick up the SCV that he damaged earlier. Pulls another mule. This is doing quite a bit of damage. I have to say, he still hasn't taken any damage on his Reapers. Now he needs to kind of scoot out of there. The problem now is that there's nowhere he can run to. There's no really cute place that he can hide Reapers. And yeah, he's going to be trapped and killed. But that did quite a bit of damage. If we look, 7 workers killed. That's not too bad so far. in the game for Ruffy. Plus, he got a lot of scouting information while he was up here. If we actually look at Ruffy Vision, yeah, he saw everything going on if he checked on the tech lab. But now it's up to Falconpaunch to kind of make the best of it. He trails by a little bit right now. He needs to restart his factory, and he does redrop those mules. Granted, mules aren't counted in the workers' kill tab, so there are workers killed, and those mules, perhaps even more important, they had just been dropped, so a lot of those minerals wasted. I believe it's something like 420 minerals. That might be overshooting it a little bit. Anyway, combat shield on the way. He does have stim pack already done at this 8-minute mark, and this sets up a number of aggressive times that he can hit, especially adding up his react. It does look like he's going to transition into standard play, so this isn't going to be anything out of the ordinary from Ruffy, but I do like his opening, I have to say. Falconpaunch, meanwhile, headed into a bio game, adding on those Marauders, and going blind bio is always interesting, because Marine Tank tends to just beat it, unless you have an overwhelming force of bio, just because Marines are pretty good against Marines and Marauders, and tanks just provide so much cover for them. So it's not like mech, but it is in the way that you have to sort of navigate through your blitz siege tanks for greater prosperity. We do see 3 Marines at the watchtower, so naturally Ruffy is going to 1-up, actually 2-up him and send 5. These are stim, or not stim, they're combat shield Marines for Falconpaunch, but the 10 extra hit points don't quite matter. It's the overwhelming numbers, and 2 Marines will go down. Falconpaunch will even take the last one back home safely. We do see Scout Factory headed out, the most efficient way of scouting possible. And Ruffy has his first siege tank done. No siege mode started yet, so he's just going to have a couple of unsiege tanks, I guess you'd call them. Economically, wow, Ruffy way ahead. 42 workers to 28. I think Falconpaunch might have been a little bit more shaken by that Reaper harass than he's sort of led on. 7 workers at that stage of the game kind of seemed to have snowballed on him. Now we're up for a draft. Falconpaunch. His stim pack is finished. He does have combat shield. He does not have concussive shell. Not that that's the most important upgrade in TBT, and in fact, we see a lot of high-level TBT players start to skip concussive shell because they're not too useful unless you're chasing. We see Ruffy is actually going to add on concussive shell, even though he doesn't have any Marauders. Just kind of interesting to know. And there actually is a concussive shell. So it's actually fairly even. The big difference is Ruffy's going for the tanks, whereas Falconpaunch isn't. Second engineering bay being added on by Ruffy, and armory being added on for it's Falconpaunch. The upgrade's going to be a little bit ahead for Falconpaunch, but not irreversibly so, especially for a mirror match. It's not as big a deal as we're making it out to be, I think. But +1 weapons is just finished for both players, so they're even right now. But the armor upgrade just a little bit ahead for Falconpaunch, and he'll have that second engineering bay. And because the drop into the main at the same time, the army has moved out to the middle for Ruffy. So this drop can do a lot of damage. We see he's actually tearing through SCVs, and he's done a cute little drop technique. But Ruffy just going to go for it. He's got 3 siege tanks. He's saying, "Come at me, bro." There's not a huge army left to defend, and now the Marines of Ruffy going to be back to defend as Falconpaunch has to just pick up his drop, and he won't be able to drop it back over here at the 3rd and delay everything going on over here. Meanwhile, Ruffy getting into good spot, he's actually just going to elevator up into his opponent's natural, and this is really nice positioning by him. I'm not sure exactly what the point of going around like this is. The siege tank should be sieged right now, and we do see kind of the split push is weird and actually working. 1 siege tank was picked off, but there's still 2 alive. Oh, they don't have siege mode. Anyway, it's just kind of bullying his way up. This medevac is just kind of headed back home. It didn't actually drop off at the 3rd, it looks like. But now Ruffy just kind of powering through. Camping his opponent's production facilities was just the worst thing that can happen to you in TBT. There's a double sim by Ruffy as it comes in, but he should be able to chew through a lot of these SCVs, and we see 70 supply of 34. There actually isn't quite enough to break through the siege tank, it looks like. This next reinforcement, they do stim up from Falconpaunch. Will he actually be able to get it? It does look like he will. So FalconPaunch able to defend, and now we'll drop off a couple more of the Mariners back at home. But we do see Ruffy behind this has kind of neglected his macro, but not really. He does have quite a few Marines up, but he is floating a little bit of a bank. FalconPaunch just has to sit back and regather SCVs. He's up to 7 now. 41 workers killed to 22 now in the game. Neither player really a fan of SCVs. But Ruffy has to feel like he got the better end of that, and he'll actually... That's a clutch scan by FalconPaunch, able to see the drop headed out. Not the biggest deal unless he can catch it in the middle of the map. If we actually look at army supply right now, Ruffy just a little bit in the lead now, 46 to 22. And, Ruffy not going to get caught. It doesn't look like, although units running on the ground are actually faster than airplanes. Ooh, he can't afford to lose that. He needs to drop those units out or just run away. Okay. Keep in mind, there's now no siege tanks for Ruffy. Which would be a big deal. 1-1, 2-1 win in terms of upgrades. Plus 2 weapons about to finish for Ruffy. I actually give him the upgrade advantage. He has his armory done, all researching plus 1 vehicle weapons for all the 0 vehicles that he has made. The biggest thing holding him back right now is gas production. He's sitting on 6 gas geysers, one with he's sitting on 4 gas geysers, excuse me, adding on 5 and 6 now will definitely help him out. See, 122 supply to 55, and FalconPaunch has kind of had to pick between making SCVs or units at this point. He's back up to 16 SCVs. That's just not enough to really compete. In comes the units of Ruffy. It's just going to break his opponent here in the middle of the map. His force just went up superior every way, and even the concussive shell now actually coming into play as he's chasing his opponent. Medevac goes down as well, and Ruffy sitting back 129 supply to 46. He'll continue his push into his opponent's base. 5 Marines now up for FalconPaunch. Not making any SCVs. He knows he needs units, but he doesn't have medevacs now. Finally starting some, and yeah, this is it. We can watch a couple Marines and Marauders die here. Marauders rallying, but there's the GG for FalconPaunch, and Ruffy has taken game number 6 for Team Galaxy and actually secured victory in the week for his team. FalconPaunch actually hasn't left the game yet. It doesn't look like there's a counter drop or anything going on, so I'm not sure what this is about. So I guess we'll just wait for some more Terran stuff to die here. A little bit of excuses speaking by FalconPaunch. More SCVs going down. I just kind of want to look at that count. 53 workers killed now by Ruffy. I really hope we're not just gonna... we'll fast forward. There, FalconPaunch leads this game. So congratulations to Team Galaxy. Ruffy secures a victory for them in week number 5. They'll be up 4-2, and that just clinches the match win for them. Not FalconPaunch, but Team Kessel can even up the map score at 4 games apiece, which kind of negates the temporal advantage the Galaxy would gain. It would be a 4-3 match win, but a 4-4 map tie. So we'll see what happens. We will have the ace match for you as Team Kessel takes on Team Galaxy. You're watching CTL week number 5. Galaxy leads Kessel 4-3.